Good morning, everyone. This week we're going to be planting tomato plants to train them to grow up a single string. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. Now, to begin with, if you don't have an overhead structure over your garden bed, don't worry about it. There is a really simple and cheap way to build a trellis frame or an overhead frame over your raised bed. I'll leave a link to a video I made in this video description to that video. It is super easy, super inexpensive. So if you don't have an overhead structure over your raised bed, don't worry, you can still do this. Check that video out. Now, to start with, I'll go over everything I'm using today. I'm using some regular garden twine I got at Home Depot. I think the brand is Vigoro, just a couple of dollars for that. I have some of my snippers here just in case I want to snip off some of the lower leaves on these tomato plants. I've got my garden trowel, dig out the hole, and I've got a container here that I can put that soil into when I dig the hole out. And I've got a watering can here because I'm going to water in this hole to begin with before I drop that tomato plant in, and then I'm going to give it its first watering. Now, I have two separate methods for attaching these tomato plants to this string, so stick around because I'm going to go over those at the end of the video. I already have my plants spaced out how I want them, about 12 to 18 inches apart. I'm going to be growing these up a single string, so I'm going to be trimming off all of the suckers off of these plants and have one main vine growing up these strings, which is why I can get away with having them so close together. The first thing I'm going to do is just come up here and eyeball where I want to have the string hang down. And I'm just going to make a loop right here and tie a knot. And the purpose of this is I want to be able to adjust this up and down like that. Any knot is going to work, really. Square knot or loop knot like that, and I don't think that's the correct name. And then I'll come down now, and this will allow me to move this around because I can't tell exactly where I need this, and as the plant grows, it's going to allow me to tighten it or loosen it if I have to loosen or tighten the slack on the plant, or if I have to give this more room. Okay, here we go. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way for now. Here's my spot where I'm going to be planting this. So I'm going to move my soaker hose back a little bit. And we're just going to dig our hole out right now. I'm not going to go too deep with this one because this plant is not too big, but I'm going to get my snippers out and I'm going to snip off some of the bottom leaves off this. I'm actually going to put a little bit more back in there. All right. So you get the watering can, put a little bit of water in there. Now, before we put this in, we need to drop the string in this hole, and I almost dropped that plant in that hole without putting the string in. So what we want to do is make sure we've got enough slack, and we're going to cut this string. We're going to tie a knot on the end of the string, and I don't know that it's absolutely necessary, but this is how Charles Dowding does it, so you really can't go wrong. And another little knot. Just like that. And I'm going to lay that string in that hole. And I'm going to put this plant right on top of that string. So these roots will go down and around that string. Now that knot should prevent it from pulling out. And let's drop this in here. Like that. We're going to backfill with everything that I just pulled out of this hole. Just like that. And one more water. I've got my tomato planted, I've got my string in. I can tighten or loosen the string as I want it. Now, as this plant grows, there's two different ways to attach it that I use. The first of which is these plastic clips that you can buy from Amazon, from johnnyseeds.com. These came from johnnyseeds.com. And the way that they work is they will attach or clip around the stem of the plant, and they will attach to the string, so they're not going anywhere, and it will hold that plant in place as the plant gets bigger. The other option that you have, which is a little bit cheaper, is just regular garden Velcro like this. Now, this comes in rolls of like 300 feet. It's reusable year after year. It is super versatile in your garden and very similar. You would just wrap it around the string and then wrap it around the stem of the plant to hold it up against that string. Either one will work. Try either you like. Everyone, thanks for watching week 1 of the Fall Garden 2023. I really hope it starts to cool down soon here in Zone 9B, South Texas. See you soon.